Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to a brand new video. As you have probably guessed from today's title, today's video is about what to expect from your mentor as a trainee teacher. So I'm going to go through my experience with the mentors that I've had throughout my training year, and I hope you enjoy the video. If you do enjoy the video, please go and hit that subscribe button. It will really help me out. Please go and like it, and please leave a comment so I can interact with you. So let's get on into the video. Okay, so my first mentor that I'm going to be talking about is my homeschool mentor. I met him in the July before starting my training in the September. The route that I went down was schools direct, so I obviously already knew what school I was in, so I was able to go meet my mentor before actually starting there. From the get-go, he was really, really organised. When I met him, he spoke about obviously what year group I was going to be in. He was going to be the class teacher in that year group as well as my mentor, and we spoke about subjects that I enjoyed myself at school, subjects that I didn't so much enjoy, and he just made me feel really, really comfortable being in that environment, which was really, really nice. Fast forward to September, the first week in September, we spent in our home schools. So I got to know my class a little bit better, but in terms of the support that my mentor gave me, he just simply asked me to observe what he was doing and how he was doing those things. After that first week, I spent a 6-week block at university, so I didn't spend much time with my mentor, but he was still in contact with me. He'd given me his number in order to text him if there was anything that I needed in preparation for when I started back after the 6 weeks, in preparation for my actual lessons that I'd be teaching. So after I spent those 6 weeks at university, I went back into school. I had 2 more observation weeks at my home school. During that time, my mentor had set up observations for me to observe other teachers across school. So I think I observed an English lesson. I observed another year 6 English lesson, because our year 6 was split into 2. And I observed a year 2 English lesson as well, so I was able to see the difference between the two. I think I observed a year 5 maths lesson as well, and towards the end of the placement I observed a phonics lesson. Throughout this whole time as well, I was observing him on a daily basis. I was observing his lessons, I was observing his behaviour management skills and all of those things. So he really provided me with the opportunity to see really good practice. As those 2 observation weeks were drawing to an end, during our PPA time, we sat down and we went through the first week's set of planning. So my first subject that I taught was English, because that was the subject I felt strongest with, and we went through the medium-term plan and we looked at how he'd planned it before, and he gave me some good ideas. He didn't bombard me with anything like that. He was really fantastic. I felt really secure with everything that had been given to me, and I felt like I could ask him any further questions. So that was really great that I only started with one subject and we built off there. Throughout my time at that school, he was fantastic with observations. He was really, as I stated before at the beginning of the video, he was so organised. So if I was observed, say, on a Thursday, he would give me immediate feedback at the end of that lesson, and my written feedback would be given to me usually by the end of the day or the following morning. He was very, very organised, and everything was done in a really, really organised way. And for that, that's something that I want to take into my NQT year, in being organised, because he made everything look so much easier because he was organised. So that was a really good thing to witness throughout my training year. He always gave me constructive feedback. I remember him saying in my first lesson, you're slightly quiet, you need to project your voice a little bit more. That was productive for me because I hadn't realised how quiet I was. So that was really, really good. During your training year, you need to be able to use your mentor the way that suits you. So in all honesty, I don't feel like I was a student that needed like a ridiculous amount of support. Like, I didn't feel like I needed to be supported with everything. I was quite independent in a lot of things, but in the same breath, if I was unsure with something, I would go and ask for help, and I would ask him for help. There were many times, like in a maths lesson, where I would have taught a maths lesson and I would have said to him, well, I didn't feel like this went well, and he'd be like, well, tell me why you didn't feel like it went well and I can give you some suggestions. Just things like that. That's what your mentors are there for. Whilst I will say that asking them for help is definitely something that you do want to do, I feel like a mentor also wants to see you acting independently as well, acting as though you are the teacher, because ultimately if you are doing a PGCE route or schools direct route, you are going to be in the classroom the following year on your own without somebody always observing you. So they want to see you acting as though you kind of know what you're doing and using your initiative. I always used my observation feedback as the basis of the things that I was going to act on. So if it was to look at your plenaries or look at your starters, in my next observation or in my next batch of lessons, I would incorporate that into them so that he could see that I was actively working on my feedback. And I think that's what mentors want from you. So whilst I do say use your mentors for support and advice, I would also say that your mentors want you to use your initiative and be independent as well as much as possible. Obviously, they're there to support you. That is what a mentor does. They're obviously there to help you. But where possible, I would suggest that you use your initiative and use your independence. So throughout that placement, like I said, I really enjoyed having that mentor. He was brilliant, and I left that placement feeling really confident to move on to my next placement. So my second placement was in a year 1 classroom. I was assigned a mentor and a class teacher. The class teacher was separate from the mentor, and I will say from the very get-go, my class teacher was amazing, and I can't thank her enough for the support that she gave me during my time at that school. However, my mentor didn't really speak to me at all, and in fact she never came to observe me, so it turned out that my class teacher ended up being my mentor. So when I refer to my mentor, I'm talking about my class teacher during this second placement. She, again, was fantastic. She was very organised. She used to get into school at like 6:30 in the morning to organise everything, but it did mean that she could leave really early at the end of the day. So yeah, she was very organised. And again, when she gave me feedback, it was fair feedback. I never felt like anything was unjust or anything like that. She helped me set some targets for myself, and she's kind of helped me to achieve some of those targets. Obviously, my second placement was cut short, so for part of those, it was hard to achieve them. Like, I had an argument about assessment and I wasn't really able to achieve that because the placement was cut short, and the placement was already a short placement anyway. But again, she was fantastic. She was always there for support. She was always at the end of an email or a text message if I needed her. So that was really reassuring to have somebody like that throughout the placement. I will say that in some situations, I've heard of people having mentors that aren't necessarily supportive, and I can honestly say that I haven't experienced that throughout my training year. But in a mentor, your mentor is supposed to be somebody that is supportive of you and wants to help you out and do the best. Because I think what we need to remember as trainee teachers is that they were once a trainee teacher as well. So if I was ever fortunate enough to be a mentor, I would want to adopt that same attitude. So my last mentor that I want to talk about is actually my university tutor. So she wasn't named as a mentor, but she was kind of used in the same way, in the sense that she was always at the end of an email. I can always email her. I still email her now as I'm coming to the end of my placement with various questions, and she's really supportive. Now, your university tutor will come out to observe you once in each placement unless there's other issues going on. They generally come out once for each placement. So my university tutor actually only ever saw me teach in my home school, and she saw me teach a maths lesson. And again, the feedback that she gave me was straight away after the end of the lesson, along with my mentor there, and it was constructive. She gave me points to work on. She gave me positives as well, and that was brilliant. And then I received the actual formal written feedback at the end of the day. So again, she was really organised and she was really punctual, and she was a really nice person. She was also my maths teacher at university as well, so I felt like I'd got a really good bond with her because we spent lots of time together at university, and then she was always at the end of an email to help out. I had I think there were like termly meetings that you have with her Well, you have a university sign-off day. At my university, you have a sign-off before you actually start teaching. So before every placement, I would go and see her anyway, to discuss anything that I was concerned about, moving forward with the next placement. So yeah, and then since we've been on lockdown, obviously everything's been done via video conferencing and things like that. And again, she's been very supportive throughout that. We have weekly meetings where we discuss issues within education, and we've looked at targets moving forward from there. So I would definitely say that you can get a lot out of your mentors and your tutors if you use them in the right way. So to summarize what to expect from your mentor, you are expecting somebody who is organised, who is equipped to have a trainee teacher within their classroom. You're also looking for somebody who is caring and compassionate and can empathise with the situation that you are in. After all, your mentor at some point was a trainee teacher, so they should be able to empathise with how you are feeling. You are also looking within yourself to act on feedback. Your mentor will give you feedback, so you need to be seen to be acting on the feedback that's been given to you, so that you are seen to be being independent and working off initiative. I hope that has helped some of you future trainee teachers that are going into your training in September in terms of what to expect from your mentor. I know that when I first met my mentor, it was quite a daunting situation to be in. I'd obviously never done anything like this before, so it was really, really strange being in that situation. But I can honestly say in both of my placement schools, I've had fantastic mentors to work with, and I've had a fantastic university tutor to work with as well. If you like the video, please go and give it a thumbs up. Please go and hit that subscribe button, and hopefully I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.